Hello everyone. How are you? My name is Brent, if you don't know, and we're here online while we're not able to meet as a youth group. And Richard and I thought that it'd be good to post a few devotionals during the week. Um, don't know how many we'll do, but we're going to try and do at least 2 a week, and we'll see where they go. We thought we'd call them 10 minutes with, the idea that we just spend 10 minutes together talking about different things, different devotional type things, some scripture, some teachings. Maybe we'll go into kind of a Zoom small group discussion about these. We'll see where they go. But we just thought that while we're not able to meet together, what are different ways that we can connect? And so one of those things I was thinking about, here we are, we're a week to 10 days into this sort of quarantine season that we're in, where people are at home a lot more. You're out of school, sports aren't happening, and all of a sudden, we're at home. And we're with our families a little more than we used to be. You know, you used to be with your friends, used to be with teammates, used to be a youth group with us, and now you're at home a lot more, and most likely with your parents who are maybe working at home, or maybe they're still working, or you're with your siblings a lot more. And in this dynamic, in this season, that's a little difficult. I know here I am, I'm at home, and my wife is working at home as well. And as you know, we have two little girls, Emma being 2 years old and Anna almost 5 months. And we're here together in this home all day. And you can probably relate to being at home with your family a lot more than you're used to. And in that season, as you're with those who you love the most, a little closer than maybe you'd like to be. I don't know. Maybe after a few days, attitudes are starting to change. Maybe you're getting on each other's nerves a little more. I think that's pretty common to expect that right now, as everyone's kind of stressed out and learning how to do school. If you're doing school online, trying how to do that. Your parents, or if they're all of a sudden at home, are trying to learn how to work online. And everyone's learning how to deal with this season. And so maybe we're getting a little irritable. Maybe we're getting upset and fighting a little more. Maybe we're finding that things are hard to deal with right now. And we're doing that in this family community. It's understandable. But the Bible teaches us a little bit about that. In 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, he writes, "Finally, all of you, be like-minded, be sympathetic, love one another, be compassionate, and humble." So Peter is writing to a church community that is meeting in homes. They're not up and running like you think nowadays, where there are churches everywhere and buildings and denominations. It is a movement, and it's largely in homes of tight communities that are under a new season themselves. A lot of them maybe knew each other in different contexts, but now they're coming together in this different context of believers in Jesus Christ. And so maybe you are in a similar context. You know your family, but now you're getting to know them in a different way. You're around them all the time. Now maybe you're seeing your parents work, or maybe you didn't really know what they did. Now you see them day to day living out the highs and the lows of a work day. Maybe you're seeing your siblings in a new light. We're in a new context. But here, Peter gives us these words that he gave to the first century Christians as they're learning how to form this new community. We're learning these same things. So where he says like-minded, I don't think he's necessarily saying that we always are going to be agreeing with each other all the time. The idea of being like-minded as in we are all trying to do the same thing. For the early century church, it's not any different than the church today. We're all trying to be like-minded in serving our community, serving the world. And so having this idea of we're in that mission together. The idea of we're not trying to pursue selfish interests. Can you imagine in your household right now trying to think just about yourself and being self-centered? The house starts to break down and everyone's being selfish. It's the same for the early church. So being like-minded, having the same goals and mission, which is serving God as our primary focus. Being sympathetic, understanding that this is hard for everyone as we're living in close quarters with each other, as our house begins to feel smaller and smaller, as we feel like our family members are breathing right down our necks because we're just running out of room. Being sympathetic, understanding that everyone's stressed out, loving one another. And it can be hard. Those freedoms that we had, that release to go out and just get away for a while. Sometimes we don't feel like we have that. But loving one another, it's so important in this time. And being compassionate and humble. Recognizing that it's not always about us. Recognizing that other people's needs sometimes need to take a forefront over our own needs. That's why we're being self-isolated. We're recognizing that there is a need for us to not be able to do everything we want to do in order to stop coronavirus from spreading. We need to put the needs of the community ahead of our own individual needs to get out, to go live our day-to-day lives as we normally do. And that requires being humble. Recognize that there's a greater need bigger than ourselves. So, for today, as it's no longer fun, it's no longer a novel weekend, but now we're going into a little bit of a temporary reality. Recognizing that we're all in this together. And that as you're spending time, more time maybe than you want, at home, with your family, not being able to interact with your friends, getting out of the house and going to school, having that normal rhythm, recognizing that these words from Peter, be compassionate, be humble, love one another in new and unique ways. We'll see you soon.